Sometimes the tough things in life come to teach us a lesson, and sometimes they come to redirect us back to our happy place. Whichever one it is, we have to take the good with the bad, learn to be appreciative, and learn true happiness. Welcome to Mocha Homestead.
Hey y'all, hey. Welcome back to Mocha Homestead. Today we are going to clear out the lemongrass. We're going to plant the rest of the fall plants, and we're going to see what else we can get done in the garden to kind of put it to bed for the fall. So come along. So before we get started, of course, you know I have to check on my favorite ladies and gent. And here they are, just chilling. We're missing one. Not sure where she is. She might be laying inside the coop. But look at Rue. Trying to figure out what I got going on. It's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. So I'm going to check for eggs, and then I'm going to get started with my garden tasks. So there were 2 eggs in the nesting box, and this one just got laid because it's still warm. So somebody laid an egg yesterday. I got 4 the day before, and I had not been out of here for 2 days, so I'm not sure when they laid them. But when I came out yesterday evening, there were 0. So somebody laid an egg late yesterday afternoon, and someone just laid an egg, and I think it was Goldie. So they are starting to lay more regularly. They are smaller eggs, if you can tell, because they're just now starting to lay, but they will get to regular size soon. So if you can tell, the walk to the garden looks a little bit different today. It's because there were 2 citrus plants right here, and the lows have been getting pretty low into the 50s. And I think one night into the 40s, if I'm not mistaken. So I have taken those citrus plants inside into my garage, and I have my garage light on now because we don't have windows in there. I plan to at some point build a small greenhouse to house my citrus plants in the winter, but we will get to that when we can. So for these okra plants, I have decided to just leave them. If you can see, they are getting really large, but I have decided to leave them for seed. I have a ton of okra this season. They have done very well. And so I am just leaving these to give me some seeds. I don't know if you can see how big that one is. Let me see if I can pull it closer. But it's super big. And then we have this one here that is also gigantic size. There's one there, and a few here, one there, couple, let's see, one here and one here. There's also some along the bottoms here that I have also decided to leave and let them go to seed, just so that I have more seeds and I don't have to buy okra seeds. Plus, this plant was very productive this year, and so because it was productive, I want those seeds so that they can also be productive in future years. So y'all, I'm having a hard time saying goodbye to my pepper plants, but there are no peppers on them. and no flowers. I've already harvested all of the peppers, but I don't have anything yet that I'm going to put in this bed where the okra is, which is why I'm letting those go to seed. I am going to put onions and garlic in the two, let me show you the beds I'm talking about. I am going to put onions and garlic in that bed over there, and then put two varieties of onions in this bed right here for the fall and spring, because I don't have any plans to put anything in that bed until the summer, so they will have time to get ready. Here's an update on the bed that I planted last week. The eggplant has gotten bigger, if you can see it right there. It's gotten bigger. The collards are now standing up. They were leaning. They are standing up now, if you can see them. This collard has gotten bigger, and there are no bite marks on the new big leaves, and I am so happy for that. So and like I said, this collard plant is turning into a collard tree because it's been there since last fall. So in this bed over here is where I am going to be planting some cabbages. I'm going to put cabbages all right here and attempt to cover the cabbages. I wasn't going to because it had started to get cold. But I just saw a yellow moth, and so I do not want any of those moths to lay worms to eat up my cabbage before I can get some. So I think I am going to try to cover it, and what I may do is I may just, let me show you. For these two plants, I may go ahead and pull these plants, so that way I only have this part of the bed that is not going to get covered, and I can plant cabbages all through here. If you can see, Mr. B is living his best life. All of them are. So they are just having a good old time with all of the plants that we have left. I'm wondering if I can plant these somewhere else where they can still get use from them, because they like these so much. That's not going to be covered. I will sit them here in the meantime. So this is the tray of brassicas that we are going to be working with today. So we are going to plant out cabbage in that bed, but I also have some kale, some pak choi. It looks like maybe one or two broccoli, a few more collards that I'm going to plant in another bed. I do have a couple of surprise survivors from my Brussels sprout debacle that I will plant out as well, and we will just see if they survive or produce anything. They did not germinate well, so I decided not to do them this season, but I will plant out the ones that did survive. So I have the cabbage laid out where I want to plant it, and I still am struggling with whether or not to let these flowers stay, because I have several more cabbage plants, and I think I can fit 2 or 3 more in the space that those flowers are in. They are ultimately going to die here shortly because it's getting cooler, so I'm thinking I should just pull those and plant the cabbages. And I can probably move them over for temporarily over to the herb bed if I just want them to stay, because there's space over there where I had some annual stuff that died. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So now that we have those plants removed, I have space for 3 more. Cabbages. So let me get these planted, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like. So now that we are done planting, we are going to attempt to cover this bed, because I still see, I haven't seen any of the white moths, but I still see a yellow moth that is flying around here. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before and cover it with some tulle that I got from Amazon. And I will show you what it looks like when we come back. Alright, so this is what we're looking like for the cabbage bed as of right now. I ran out of clips and I need to get some more for this bed. So what I have done is I have put a grow bag here on this end to hold it, and one from the summer over here as well. They don't have anything in them but soil that needs to be refreshed in the spring. So I'm going to sit those there until I can get some more clips. But I did leave this plant for the bees. All in all, the cabbage is done. So now we're going to move on to planting, let's see. So now we're going to move on to planting the kale, the couple of Brussels sprouts that I have, the last of the couple of greens that I have, and some chard. We're going to plant those in this bed. Let's see. We're going to pull the beans out of this bed and use this bed to plant a lot of our brassicas and green leafy vegetables, like our spinaches and things like that, in this bed. We already have, I don't know if you can see along the back, let's see. I've already started planting some sugar snap peas along the back. I planted those a little bit earlier. Some of them are doing well. I have to reseed because some of them have died out. So I'm going to heavily plant that in again. But yeah, we're going to get this bed planted up. Okay, so I have everything laid out where I want to plant it. I am going to plant it and I will come back and show you what it looks like. All right, you guys. So I have gotten everything planted and watered in this bed. Yes, some of these things per the square foot gardening are placed too close together, but I am placing them where I would like them to be. I'm trying to do more closely packed plants as an experiment to see how well they will do. So yes, I know that per spacing guidelines some of these are so close, but I did go ahead and put the kale, the chard, and the broccoli in the same bed because I want to see how it does with everything in the same bed. Also, I did not want to have to cover separate beds for any frost that may come. So, because again, we're gardening on a budget, and I am not spending a lot of money for frost cloth when I do not garden much in the fall. So you have to consider those things when you're looking at what tools and supplies you want to buy if they're not going to be used often. So here's the bed. I did go ahead and water this one in. I watered in as well my kale and eggplant. And I watered in these cabbage. Alright, you guys, so that wraps up this video. I hope you liked the video. If you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us here and over on Instagram. And until next time, bye.